Hello everybody, I'm on a service call. Believe it or not, we still need heat in Chicago. Today it was very nice, it was 70 degrees, but tonight is gonna be 38, so we still need heat. It has been 8 months. Well, 8 months with the furnace going. I think I'm gonna replace some parts. I'll take you there in a minute and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get some stuff in my truck and then I'll be right there. So I'll see you downstairs. This is the boiler. This is 400,000 BTUs cast iron boiler for 12 apartments. And these are the first floor zone valves. And we are having trouble with apartment number 5. So it is marked right there, number 5. So the problem we have with number 5 is that it's way too hot. The thermostat doesn't respond. And it's very hot. Actually, the thermostat is working fine. The problem is that the gate, the ball valve that is inside here, it's stuck in the on position and it's allowing the hot water to, even when you are not calling for heat, to travel through the pipes to the apartment, and the apartment is too hot. So the problem we have here is, if you see, there is no service valves. You cannot isolate. It should be a shut-off valve in each control, right here or here. So you shut it off, and then you shut this off, and then you isolate the system. So the water you lose is just minimum, almost nothing. And then when you are done, just turn it on, turn this one off, on, and then that's it. But the problem that we have is that there's no isolating valves. So what happens when I cut here, all my water from the apartment is gonna come to get out of here. So we're gonna lose a lot of water. So since we have this problem, we have the problem with apartment number 5. Since we have to open the system, and might as well install a shut-off valve, an isolated valve to each one of the apartments. So that's what we're going to do today. So the first thing we're going to do is shut this off, shut everything off, and then we're going to shut every valve you see. And this is to isolate the most you can so no water comes through anywhere. Hopefully the vacuum action will hold it and we don't lose too much water. So we're gonna close all of them. And at the end, we have to bleed each one of the apartments. And I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do that. So now that we have the power off and every valve you see off, we're gonna cut in each one of the apartments, in each, I don't know if I should install it right here or here. I don't have too much space here. I think it'll be more comfortable here. What do you think? So the valve, the isolating valve we're going to install is going to be a 3/4 press by press. So as you know, I love pressing. I know some of you guys don't like it. I love it. And let me just show you here, since we are in the subject. This boiler was installed 22 years ago. It was done with press fittings. This technology is 50 years old, so you might think it's new, but in the States it's newer. But in other countries in Europe, it's very old system and it works. So we're going to install one of these valves, one on each line for each apartment. Okay, so I marked where the valve goes. There's 2 marks here. I don't know if you see them. They're right there. So I'm gonna cut right in the mark, then I'm gonna insert my valve, and then I'm gonna press it. So that's it, guys. I installed 6 shutter valves in less than 10 minutes. If it was the regular conventional soldering system, it would have taken just 2 hours just to drain the system and another hour to do the soldering. So, you know, call me crazy, but I love this system. And now I'm gonna work on apartment number 5. So now remember, we're going to replace the valve inside, and we're going to replace the power head. Since the power head is, it might be in good shape, but it's more than 7 years old. It's between 7 and 10 years old. So since we're going to work on number 5, let's replace it. And then, you know, it'll last another 7 to 10 years. So to remove the power head, I'm not removing the wiring yet because I'm gonna, if you don't know what goes to what, you know, do one by one. If you know by heart what's going on, you know, then you undo them or whatever, but just let's leave it like that. To remove the power head, there's 2 screws, one here and one there, and it takes a smaller flat screwdriver. To start the project, we're going to shut it off. Since we have shutter valves now, we have isolating valves. Woohoo! So we're going to do that screw right there. And the other screw is right here. That's it. Now you're going to grab this guy and just jiggle it a little bit, so it comes right out. Look at that, easy peasy. That's it. And now, since we're replacing the ball valve that is inside, we're gonna undo these nuts to remove it. And it takes 5/16 nut driver. Now pay attention to this. It has 2 different screws. These take a screw, these have a female side, and these are just screws, because the head, this head is gonna be screwed there. And then notice the position of the valve, of the shaft, is more towards the left. If you see here, right here, so that's why you have to pay attention. So, of course, expect some water. But since we shut the water off, woohoo! Then, you know, we're not gonna lose a lot of water. No big deal. And the new valves come with these screws, just in case you lose them. Let me show you this. Even though it was not broken, but it's frozen. This cannot move anymore. You know, if you go and try to move this, it doesn't move at all. Look at that. This spins, but that doesn't matter. You have to be able to move the shaft just by, you know, with minor pressure. Let me show you the new one. Look at the new one, very easy to move. Do you see? So that was the original problem. And now we're gonna replace the O-ring. Then let's put the new one. Look at that, get it wet and it sticks better. Now remember, this has to be like this, remember? I'm sorry, like this, on this side, on the left. Then we're gonna just put it through, center it. Try not to disturb the And remember, the screws that are just screws are gonna be on the top right and on the bottom left. And the screws that have the female side is gonna be on the upper left and the bottom right. Look at that, easy peasy, isn't it? It has to be tight because it has to seal the water. And remember, when you turn the system off, these are spring loaded and it's gonna return to the off position. So now I'm gonna just put it like that, so it's covering the hole, so it's in the off position. And see, this is the new valve. If you see this, the shaft goes here and then there's two screws. So when we put it like that, this hole has to match this shaft right here. So just kind of put it there. See, it didn't took that much. So now we're gonna tighten these screws, the ones we did before. Don't go all the way in, do this one a little bit, and then do the upper left. And then go back to this one. Look at that, very, very easy. Okay, so we finished the wiring. Are we done? Nope. Now, since we cut the pipes, each one of the pipes to get our valve, now we have air in each apartment there's air. So now we have to remove it. So what do we have to do? So the second floor, we're gonna leave it shut, closed, so we don't disturb that one. And we have to bleed each apartment. This is the supply. The supply has to be wide open. It's gonna push water through apartment number 6. It's gonna go all the way through apartment number 6, and it's gonna return into a common return. This is the common return for the 6 apartments. It's gonna go here, and then it's gonna go back to the boiler through the pump to the return, but we're gonna stop it right here because we don't want it back to the boiler, otherwise it doesn't do anything. And then it's gonna stop here, and then it's gonna go out to the drain. We're gonna do one by one apartment at a time. So you have to do this while everything is off, but now we have to raise the pressure in our boiler. Remember, we bled it, so there's no pressure right now. It's 0 pressure right now. So we're gonna build it up. Remember, we shut the water off to our supply, to the feed. So we're gonna open up these valves. You hear the water? And this is the bypass. Right now it's gonna fill it up to 12 pounds of pressure because this valve is designed to do that. And then we're gonna use this one to bypass the water so it goes up to 30, up to the capacity of our safety pressure relief valve, which is 30 pounds. Well, this is 50 pounds. Yeah, this is 50 pounds, and we can go all the way to 50 pounds just to bleed. Once we get a bled, then we go back to whatever PSI you like in your system. And now, since we're starting with number 6, we have to shut all the other 5 apartments because we want to isolate it. We're gonna start with apartment number 6. That's gonna be open, and right here we're gonna open up. Remember, when it's in the off position, when there's no power, it's gonna be in the off position. Now we're gonna force it open by pushing this lever here, and then you have to hold it there for 2 seconds, and then this one is gonna be wide open. These ones are off. So this is what we're doing. We have to build the pressure. The pressure is the blue gauge. And right now we have it about 30, 40 psi. So water is coming through the supply. Is gonna go to apartment 6. It's gonna go push all the air through that apartment, and it's gonna return through the common return, which is this one. And before it goes to the boiler outside here to remove the air. You have to keep watching that gauge. So right now it's about 20. So 20. Right now it's about 20. So let's keep it that way. Then after a few minutes, we're gonna be done with apartment 6. We're gonna shut it off. Open up number 5. Close this one here, and then open up this one. For number, remember you have to, it's going back because it's spring loaded. So we're gonna force it open, hold it, push it towards you, and then hold it there for 2 seconds, and that's open. And now we are bleeding number 5. Let's push water through number 5. Remember, at all the times, you have to make sure that you have pressure there in that gauge. You don't see it, but it's about 15 now. So let's build it up for more. You see how it moves? Look at the blue gauge, bottom, middle. See how it's going up? And now we have to open up the bleeder so the water bleeds out. And the water is bleeding out through there. Okay, remember you have to keep watching that gauge, so it's always more than 20 pounds of pressure for bleeding purposes. So we did 6 and 5, and we're gonna do the same with the rest, with the other 4, until you do all of them. So now that I'm done bleeding all 6 apartments, I'm gonna turn everything off, everything on. All the shutter valves are turned off. They go back to on. So that's it, guys. That's how it looks with the new isolation valves, the new shutter valves. I replaced the power head, and I replaced the ball valve in the back inside. And I rewired all this mess. I replaced the thermostat upstairs. It was a faulty one too. And that's it. So I hope it was beneficial to you. Please like and subscribe, and see you next video.